there anything in the current climate that made you choose to play a guy wrestling with drug addiction?
Addiction is the biggest killer in the United States right now. It's over 50,000 people a year die from this. That's more than automobile crashes, that's more than gun violence, that's more than both of those combined. And a lot of young people go through this, not necessarily with methamphetamine. That's what Nick Sheff went through. Things that numb your environment, and that's, I think, the most fascinating thing when you think about addiction in the United States right now, is in the 60s or 70s, to my understanding, because I wasn't here. But LSD and marijuana, these were drugs that maybe amplified your surrounding or helped people understand it in a new way. And what you have now with opiates, and I think it's not at all not linked to the whatever climate of disillusion we're in, is they totally numb your surroundings. So you could be in the worst physical setting, you could be in the nicest physical setting, and it's gonna give you the same effect. And I know I'm not only speaking from my experience, I can imagine you guys too know people that have been seriously affected by addiction, and there's still like a moral failing around it. And weirdly, I feel like with my people, with people my age, there could be like a glorification of it too, and kind of like a martyrdom, like, yeah, I'm destroying myself. It's my right. And that's really sad. And I feel a real responsibility, not in a fake way or in a facetious way, but that not to be like inspiring, but to point some way forward. And Beautiful Boy, the irony of that movie is it's not like the most uplifting movie in the world, but at least there's a redemptive value in, okay, here's a story that maybe doesn't get honored all the time. And spoilers, but that Nick survives, you know, that he made it through, that there were 4 relapses in the movie, he had 13 in real life, and now he's 8 years sober. And I guess even what I just said is like misinformation a little bit too, because it's a day at a time, like you never beat it. That's one of the really interesting things in talking to people about the movie. Sometimes people are like, well, why was he addicted? And like, is he gonna be okay? And I kind of go, oh, you didn't really get it, because that's not, the why is purposefully not addressed, because that's not as important as the fact that one is addicted. And secondly, you never really beat it.
It's interesting, I guess you spent time with him and his father.
Yes.
The father wrote this very celebrated book. What surprised you about the two of them?
Nick's book, Tweak, is a dream for an actor. I shouldn't maybe say it like that, because it was such a treacherous, terrible experience for that family. But Tweak is written in the present tense. It is moment to moment. He's not thinking ahead. He's not thinking what just happened. It's, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do this. I don't have drugs now. I need to get drugs here. And David's is this beautiful, like 360 view of what, how an addiction can affect a parent, a family member, a loved one, a friend, in a way that Nick describes it. When he read it, he didn't know how devastating what he was doing was to his family. And I think now what surprises me, because we do Q&As with them, is just like their strength of character, and the possibilities of love. And it's something Greta Gerwig said to me, because we're working on Little Women right now. The most important things in life are cliches, and it is symptomatic of what we're living in. To be cynical or disillusioned, and it can be harder, but it's not like you're gonna make a whole difference, because like a little thing, each time it's a little bit of this, like you can impact a little bit. What people want, or they want like accurate reflections, they want a mirror, basically.
Authenticity.
Yeah. And the demand for content, whether that's Netflix or Hulu or Apple's making stuff. I saw a thing that said AT&T original in the street the other day. Apparently they're making things. So there's so much out there, especially as a young actor. I think your first dream is like, how can I be economically self-sufficient? Like that first time you could pay your check and you didn't do any other job, you're like, what?
That's success right there.
Yeah.